Welcome back to the backyard, everybody, and as you saw from that brief intro right there, this is going to be the 100th video on the channel, so I'm celebrating a small victory today. But it is that time of year where we start working on these beds and getting them ready to plant, because I could literally have lettuce in right now if I had just had the time set aside to do this. So these beds, as you remember last year, we grew a lot in here, tomatoes on the right, we had a lot of stuff over here on the left, but as you can see, the level of the bed, I mean, it doesn't look significant for here, but it has dropped. And the reason being is when we filled these, we filled them with leaves, we filled them with grass clippings, the soil, peat moss, any kind of thing that we could put into them. And over time, it's going to break down. That's what it does. Both beds have done it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to come in, till them both up, and I've got more grass clippings and thatch. I've got compost that I've been composting throughout the year. It's down there. And I've got all the bags of soil that we got marked down. There was a video about that earlier this year as well. So I'm going to come in, go ahead and redo these beds, prep them, and I should be putting in lettuce. Really, next week I could have lettuce in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and get these prepped for, well, 2024's grow season. So thanks for coming back, and I'll get started. All right, so both the beds have been beat up a little bit, tilled up a little bit. It was pretty wet, so I'm gonna have to till through it again as I go along. But what I've got here, I've got two buckets. This is thatch. Basically, it's just grass clippings in the spring. Lower your push mower down as low as you can, vacuum up the clippings. These make a great compost, or you put them in the beds and let them break down like we did last year. Over here, the wheelbarrow is the compost that we had down below. And as you'll notice, in here there are some eggshells, and I think I saw some carrots somewhere that had not completely broken down, and that won't be an issue because once you get it in here and get it tilled in, it's going to continue to break down in the beds. It'll feed the soil. It's going to be fine. And it's actually one thing you can do. You can opt to do, instead of composting the way I'm doing it, you can bring your scraps, your eggshells, your veggies that are going bad, chop them up, and you can put them directly in your beds. Just bury them and then plant around them, and they'll break down in the bed. That's another idea. But the last thing I've got here, this, if you didn't see the video, this topsoil. Now these were one of the two things that were on sale at Walmart for $2 a bag. Like I said, I did a video earlier, well, I guess it was last year, right before Christmas, about it. So I'm going to come in first with the thatch, nice layer, and then I'll go over the top of it with the with the compost that I've got. And then I'll probably work on tilling that together, kind of blend it in real well. And whatever we don't have as far as the bed being filled, I'll come back in with the topsoil bags and just get a good blended mixed layer on top in both beds. Now this bed, as you can see, it wasn't as low, but I'm still going to give it the same treatment. So I'll go ahead, get everything added, and get these beds one step closer to being done. All right, everyone, that's bed number one. You saw it. That's bed number two. We just finished it. Bed number two, done the exact same way. Broke up the ground, spread the grass clippings, spread the compost. And one thing that I'll mention that I did to both beds, but I didn't show it on camera. I came in with a shovel and pretty much just went through the bed and just kind of flipped the old soil, trying to spread it, break it up, because, you know, the roots from the plants before can kind of help compact it. So I did flip it. And then of course went across with the topsoil, the bags of topsoil that we had gotten these. So the levels are pretty much where I want them. They've got, you know, they've got all the additives that I want right now, minus fertilizer and stuff we'll do later. I may come out tomorrow and do like a short of like the rototiller, you know, really breaking this up, getting it deep and flipping the soil. But as far as that goes, this is essentially it. I could be putting in cold weather crops next week. We've got lettuce, we've got cabbage, broccoli, Swiss chard. So a lot of the cold stuff is, we actually already just did a delivery up to the feed store last week, so they're ready to go. I need just a hair more on these beds and they'll be ready to plant in. So I'm gonna call that at least somewhat prepared. Like I said, I'll do a little video of tilling them in, getting them ready to go tomorrow maybe, and we'll call it a day. So I'll leave you with this. It's one of my favorite bushes on the property, but I'm gonna call it a day and head inside, get cleaned up. You guys, thanks for coming back. This is the first, I guess you'd say, farming video on the channel this year, and I'm gonna bring a lot more. I'm gonna try to get a lot more in this year. So thanks for coming back for the 100th video, and I appreciate everybody. Have a good weekend.